Having submitted your application to the local Midwest Honor Flight Board of Directors for the purposes of determining your availability for one final tour, you are hereby notified that your mission is to leave for Washington, D.C. tomorrow, 12 October 2019. You are ordered to report to the Sioux Falls Sheraton lobby on Saturday, 12 October 2019 at 03:30 to start the shuttling process to the Sioux Falls Regional Airport. You are required to bring a picture ID for processing. Here you will be given your mission briefing and all necessary documents for your mission. You will board and depart for Washington, D.C. at 05:30. You will complete your mission and return to Sioux Falls approximately around 20:30. Welcome to Honor Flight. We look forward to seeing you on Flight Day.
We're using them very effectively here in this war in Vietnam to dive bomb the Viet Cong in these jungles beyond Da Nang here.
My reception was Mom and Dad, that was it. There was a lot of cold shoulder type stuff.
I was very excited about this honor flight, being an all-Vietnam charter, but also a little nervous. Not only because I know how hard it is for some of you to have decided to come on this flight, but having to do with my own emotions and how our country treated y'all. I hope today we get to show you how important y'all are and how thankful our nation is to you.
The reception we got at Reagan National Airport, I mean, every vet that I've talked to, I mean, it blew us right out of our boots. We couldn't believe it.
When the plane landed in D.C. and we walked through the airport there was maybe 200-300 yards of kids, adults, old people, young people cheering, waving flags, and just really making you feel good. And it's very emotional.
Cheering people and high fives and welcome home and all this stuff. And just citizens from Washington, D.C. One of the tour guides, the local tour guides, told us that this is just people that come out for these flights.
Welcome home, everybody. Welcome home.
49 years ago today, I got on a plane and left Vietnam. Very good day.
There seems little doubt now that U.S. forces in Vietnam will be fighting.
I was in a mechanized infantry unit. We were actually a brigade. The 5th Division was the parent company. It was a brigade. And they had 3 battalions: infantry, armor, and mechanized. And the mechanized were the old-fashioned APC, armored personnel carriers. So I was in one of those companies.
And as Colonel Farr says now, we're heading home.
It was exciting, about like today flying out here. I mean, as soon as I got the plane off the ground, a lot of cheers and all that good stuff. So then everybody slept till we touched down. Then the cry was, "Put the wheels down, let's go."
You could have easily gone on this trip as a member on the flight, as the veteran on the flight, but you chose to take a different path. Tell me what you're doing today.
It was by accident that I met medical director for this organization out at the air show this year, and we were chatting, a friend of mine and her, and I asked her how I could donate to send a vet out on each flight, and of course she gave me that information. But she says, we really could use some guardians, and I said, well, what's that? And so she told me what the guardian process was. I said, well, I'm not about to take a seat for a vet because I've been out there half a dozen times. I've seen most of the memorials and I've been through that process. So I didn't want to take a seat for a vet, but I'd be happy to help as a guardian, which is what I'm doing today. And an RPG hit the radio antenna and killed 4 guys. It's been a really good experience, and it's kind of fun listening to the guys, how they're reacting to this, and it's going to change, I think, dramatically for a number of them once we get to the Vietnam Wall, Memorial Wall. So,
Yeah, what's that going to be like for you?
I've been there 4 or 5 times, so I've been through those thoughts and processes. So it'll be pretty heartfelt, but like I said, I've been there a number of times. It's going to be interesting to see how some of the other vets react to it, because that'll be their first trip there. What our memorial service looks like overseas. You had Charlie Company, Larry and Barkley and Pooh. They didn't put any Carson or Pierpont too.
All right, there's Larry.
The whole operation, the Midwest Honor Flight, is just so well run. It's just incredible. It was well worth it.
I hope that there's no doubt in your mind by the time this day is done, and it's not done yet, that we love you and your country loves you, that we honor you, your country honors you, that we're proud of you, your country is proud of you, and we thank you. Your country thanks you. And I hope this day has been all of that and more.
Being in the service has never been something that I didn't doubt that I would do. It was something growing up that was part of my growing up, part of my life. I would be in the service, and had a brother in the Marines, and I'm in the Navy, and yeah, I planned on coming here. And then August 20, I had basically a fatal heart attack, which flatlined me, and luckily it happened at the Heart Center in Sioux Falls, and they took care of me and put a couple of stents in my heart, and here I am 6 weeks later. I'm sitting in Washington, D.C. with the honor flight, so quite excited about it. No, I called the people and told them my situation. They said, well, we'll keep an eye on you. And then October 2, I had about a 6-7 hour exam over at the heart hospital, and they were very happy with where I was at. They didn't have to replace a defibrillator or anything like that. The heart was healing, and so they said, you're clear to go. You should be okay. I have never been to D.C. before, no.
So what is this experience like for you?
It has been just really humbling and emotional, because when the plane landed in D.C. and we walked through the airport there was maybe 200-300 yards of kids, adults, old people, young people cheering, waving flags, and just really making you feel good. And it's very emotional. Well, I look at it, and these are all somebody's sons, maybe some daughters in there, somebody's husbands, and I enjoy the outdoors, but I never had any of the game shoot back at me, and to think of being shot at like that, and it's quite something.
He was your cousin?
He was my cousin and classmate. He was our classmate. He come home in October of '67. And Palmer, I left California same time as Palmer. I went over in December of '67.
I got home from Vietnam just in time to be his pallbearer.
Wow.
All he wanted to be was a Marine and go to war. That was his goal in life.
Yeah.
And he got it done.
Wow.
He talked about doing that since he was this high.
Really?
For all of us to make things right from how our country treated you all those years ago, and I'd like to apologize to all of you on behalf of all those who disrespected you guys so long ago. And I hope today we were able to show you that there are many Americans who are grateful for your service and all that you did for our country.
Tonight, you probably have the biggest role in this flight than any other thing that we did. As I said, this is the group of veterans that was not welcomed home warmly. We were a country that did not understand war and did not understand what these men and women had been through. So when they come through those doors, it is your job to wipe away absolutely every bad memory of that welcome home that you can, and put a brand new memory in. So
out.